Hi Hillians! Today, this is what every fish in Zelda Breath of the Wild is used for and exactly what they do and the best places to find them. And yes, there are individual videos for each one. You can check the links in the description for their individual video or the timestamps for this video. Before I get to the locations, I must say that Hearty Salmon are good for cooking. Each one cooked will add 4 temporary hearts and of course replenish Link's permanent hearts. However, it's probably better to use durians. Check the card in the corner or the link in the description for the best recipes to make in Breath of the Wild. Now for farming Hearty Salmon, there's a specific route I take, and I go here every blood moon. I do have to say that blood moon doesn't necessarily mean the Hearty Salmon have respawned, I just use it as a reminder that it's time to farm them. As a matter of fact, according to Croton's myth busting video, link in the description, each section of the map has a 1% chance for materials to respawn every minute. So when I have my blood moon reminder, I head to the Hebra Tower, target the Hearty Salmon on my sensor, then I make my way to the Tama Pond. There's a talus here if you're interested in getting some ores. I like to use shock arrows to get as many fish as possible because there are some Chillfin trout here too. Then I make my way down to the lower Hebra Plunge. There's a small ledge I go to create some cryonis blocks close to the Hearty Salmon. There's usually a pair of Hearty Salmon close to the ledge and a pair in the center of the waterfall. And there are also some Chillfin trout. Keep in mind when farming here, depending on the weather, sometimes the fish can freeze. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens, so don't shoot them unless you can get them quickly. While you're here, I would suggest targeting some Voltfin trout since they're kind of rare also. After clearing this area, I head to Rito Village. I go straight to the shop, buy everything, then head to the small pond on the second island. There should be 2 Hearty Salmon in the pond. Then I head to the bridge by the stable. Then I jump down. Very rarely, but it happens, there can be a Hearty Salmon under this bridge. If you're lucky, you'll get 2 Hearty Salmon. And finally, I fast travel to Hyrule Castle in the docks. You can find 2 Hearty Salmon in the center and 1 at the end. You can defeat the Lizalfos here for some ores or shock arrows. Both snails are a little hard to see. You can find them almost anywhere in shallow waters, and today we'll learn why you need them and where I like to farm them. Hardy blueshell snails are needed for the What's for Dinner side quest. Talk to Kiana in Lurlin and she'll ask for some goat butter and a hardy blueshell snail. Besides that, you can cook them. Each cooked one will give you full health and 3 additional temporary hearts. You can get them at any beach like Lurlin, just turn on your Sheikah sensor to farm them. Lately, I've been going to Lanayru Bay. I start at the shrine, then make my way around. You will get a few crabs here, some porgy, some octoroks here for the rare eyeballs. There's also a Lionel here. And when you go down here, there's some crabs and a couple groups of sparrows for some chickaloo nuts. Then I cross the bay and grab a few more snails.
Now for sneaky river snails, they do give low stealth when cooked, but you need 15 to upgrade your Sheikah gear to level 3. Like I mentioned earlier, you can get them randomly in shadow waters like Thunder Plateau, but there's one place they always respawn. Usually I go to this shrine, jump across the river to the Dea Lake, sit until night so I can see them better, and there's 5 in this well, and another 5 in this well. And sometimes you'll find a random 1 or 2 crawling around. Then I travel down to Faroche Hills, and you can get about 10 of them here. There's also some sunset fireflies and blue nightshades.
The only real reason you need Hearty Bass is to fully upgrade the Zora gear. You need 15 of them. Other than that, you can cook them. They'll give you full health, and each cooked one adds 2 temporary hearts. But there are easier and better things to cook that add temporary hearts. Since they're somewhat rare, you can also just farm them just to collect them if you're a completionist. Before I show you the map, you should know there are 2 other ways to get Hearty Bass. A rare drop from killing Octoroks, and drops from the Toon Lynx, Archer Link, and Mifa Amiibo. These are the locations for Hearty Bass. Feel free to take a screenshot at any time. First place I go is to the pond by the foot race. There's no easy way to get here, so I leave my travel medallion here. There are 2 Lizalfos, an Octorok, and potentially 5 Hearty Bass. Next place I go is down the waterfall by this shrine in the Farron region. There should be about 5 of them. Next, there should be about 11 along the Floria Bridge in the Farron region. This is the most at one location you can get them. Staying in the Farron region, I sometimes get the 4 that are by this waterfall after farming the Hinox, Truffles, and Octoroks nearby. The last place I farm them is here in this pond. Here I usually farm for Hinox, bee honey, lizards, beetles, then I go to the pond. The rest I ignore because for me it's not worth the time to get them. Yes, they are very common, but actually, that's what makes them useful, especially towards the beginning of the game. You can easily find them, which I'll talk about later, and they're great for eating. Eating one raw gives Link 1 heart, and each one cooked gives Link 2 hearts. So find them and eat them. And you do need them to upgrade some gear. Each piece of the Zora set needs 5 Hyrule Bass for their second upgrades. To find them, they're basically anywhere there's fish. The way fish spawning seems to work is that if there's a rare fish, they will be a common fish before they become that rare fish. For example, if there's a location for Hearty Bass, they will be Hyrule Bass first, then eventually they'll become Hearty Bass. So anywhere you see water, check for fish and you should find Hyrule Bass. But for some good locations, according to this object map, there are 39 Hyrule Bass by the Dueling Peaks Tower. North of Kakariko, there's up to 30 bass that are Hyrule Bass or Staminoka Bass. Again, some of that Staminoka Bass might be Hyrule Bass first. But truthfully, I think the best way to farm Hyrule Bass is to not focus on them. Get them when you see them, or focus on other fish. The fish I recommend focusing on are Hearty Bass because they're very useful, you can use them for some gear, and there's always Hyrule Bass where there is Hearty Bass. There's really one reason you can use Staminoka Bass, and that's to eat them. One cooked one will give Link 1 full stamina wheel and 2 hearts. You can eat a roasted one for 1.5 hearts. Eating a frozen one will give Link 2 hearts and level 1 heat resistance for a minute, and eating them raw will give Link 1 heart. And after checking what they do when cooked, I can say that it's a pretty decent item in early game. That's all you can use Staminoka Bass for, and now let's talk about some places that they always spawn according to this object map. First, by the waterfall by Dig Dog Bridge, you should find 7 of them, plus some other fish. The Squabble River west of the Dueling Peaks also has 7. There's 5 in the river in Dueling Peaks. And the Tetla Lake north of Kakariko Village. Truthfully, I have more than 700 and I've never farmed Staminoka Bass specifically except to make this video. They do randomly spawn in random places and especially close to other fish. I've collected this many just by farming other fish and picking them up when I see them. The 4 types of trout are Chillfin, Sizzlefin, Voltfin, and Stealthfin trout. As a side note, you can get all 4 trouts from drops from Toon Link's amiibo, Archer Link amiibo, and the Mifa amiibo. First, with Chillfin trout, you don't need them for anything specific, but you can use them for cooking. According to Crowan's cooking stats video, each one will give you heat resistance at a 2.5 minute duration. You need to cook 3 to get level 2 heat resistance. You can buy them at Zoro's Domain for 24 rupees each. And the best place to find them in the wild is at the water around Zoro's Domain, and in the Tama Pond and Heber Plunge in the Heber region. Octoroks around the Zoro region also may drop them. Next is Sizzlefin trout. Like the Chillfin trout, there's nothing specific you need them for, but you can cook them for cold resistance, each with a 2.5 minute duration. And you need 3 to cook for level 2 cold resistance. If you use an object map, you'll notice the only place they constantly spawn is in Zoro's Domain, also for 24 rupees each. But the best place to find them randomly in the wild is in the water in the Eldin region. You can find them around the Gut Check Rock and the lakes in the south side of Eldin. You can also get them from the Rock Octoroks. Next, for Voltfin trout. You need 1 for the Riddles of Hyrule side quest. There's a Korok on top of the Deku tree that tells you riddles, and Voltfin trout is one of the answers. Cooking 1 Voltfin trout gives you shock resistance with a 2.5 minute duration, and you need 2 for level 3. The best place to find Voltfin trout is from the Heber Plunge, and right where it says the Zora River. You can also get them from Octoroks by the Thunder Plateau. You can also find them in the Tabantha Frontier or the Totori Lake, but they're big, and you have to look for them. And finally, Stealthfin trout. You need 30 of them to fully upgrade the stealth gear. Cooking 1 Stealthfin trout gives you stealth buff with a 2 minute duration. You can get level 3 stealth with 5 of them, but you're better off with silent princesses. You need 3 for level 3 stealth. The best place to find Stealthfin trout is in the water around the Great Hyrule Forest. It's better to go at night since they glow, and be careful not to go too close to the forest or you'll be teleported. There are 3 different types of carp in Breath of the Wild: Mighty, Armored, and Sanke carp. Eating each one raw will give Link 1 heart, each one burnt will give Link 1.5 hearts, and each one cooked will give Link 2 hearts. But for their individual bonuses, Mighty Carp will give Link Attack Up, and you need 4 of these to reach level 3 Attack Up. Bananas are probably better. If you want bananas, check the card in the corner or the link in the description. Armored Carp will give Link Defense Up, and you need 4 to reach level 3 Defense Up. And Orange Shrooms are probably better. Check the card in the corner or the link in the description. And for Sunken Carp, there's nothing special about them except that they're rare. I have a shorts video on their locations. Let me show you that before I show you where to get Mighty and Armored Carp. There's only one place in the whole game to find them, and that's in the water surrounding Impa's house in Kakariko Village. There's a chance for 3 on each side of the house to spawn, and all materials have 1% chance to respawn every minute that you're not close to the location. So come back randomly when you have a chance. Now for where to find Mighty Carp. You can go to the Zora River. There's of course Mighty Carp, but you can also find some other fish as you follow along the river. There's also this little pond with lots of fish that's east of Plymouth Mountain. And another spot here in South Akkala. And if you go down the water, you'll find more at the bottom of Akkala Falls. There's also some other fish, even a big Hearty Bass. Now for Armored Carp. There's not many places, but you can go to Zora's River, which also has Armored Carp. The Tetla Lake north of Kakariko has Armored Carp, and one of the single places that has Staminoka Bass. And finally, you can turn on Armored Carp in your Sheikah Slate and shoot the waters of Hateno Village with shock arrows. There's about 20 carp around Hateno. Yes, carp aren't that useful in the game, but Sanke carp are rare. Both Porgy are great for eating. If you eat either of them raw, they will heal Link by 1 heart. If you burn them, they become roasted Porgy, which heals Link for 1.5 hearts each one eaten. When freezing either of them, they will become frozen Porgy, which heals Link for 1 heart and gives 1 minute of heat resistance. When cooking, Mighty Porgy gives Attack Up, and Armored Porgy gives Defense Up. These 2 are the strongest materials for their dish modifier because you only need 3 to reach level 3. Or you can use 2 and 1 of any other Attack Up or Defense Up material. Also remember that you can add a dragon horn to make any dish last for 30 minutes. If you need help farming horns, check the card in the corner or the link in the description. Also for Attack Up, bananas are a really good option. If you need help finding lots of bananas, check the card in the corner or the link in the description. For farming Porgy, it's not that bad to farm. You can buy 3 of both Porgy from the Lurlin General Store, and this would be the area to farm them. There's a whole bunch everywhere, but let me show you the hot spots. Having a shock arrow would be nice, some extra stamina dishes, and speed dishes are great. If you need help making some dishes, I've got a video for that too. Check the card in the corner or the link in the description. There's one spot in the middle of these 3 rocks south of Lurlin Village with 15 Mighty Porgy. Next, there are 4 spots with 30 Porgy, for whatever reason 14 armored ones and 16 mighty ones. They are here south of the Cape Cressia hook, in the middle of the hook, one in the middle between the Point and Eventide Island, and another east of the Cape Kales Cliff. You can even notice a flock of birds above looking for some dinner. And the last place requires some work, and that's at the Eris Beach. There's more than 50 Porgies here, but there are some enemies. Fighting the enemies may cause the Porgies to scatter, or you can sneak below all the enemies. There are 3 types of crabs: Razorclaw, Ironshell, and Bright-Eyed crabs. When cooking crabs, each one adds 2 hearts to a dish. Razorclaw crabs give Link Attack Up, and you do need 4 crabs to reach level 3. I think it's better to get bananas, and I do have a video for bananas. Check the card in the corner or the link in the description. Ironshell crabs give Link Defense Up, and you need 4 crabs to reach level 3. For both dishes, remember that you can add a dragon horn to make the dish last 30 minutes. I do have a video for horns. Check the card in the corner or the link in the description. For Bright-Eyed crabs, its dishes give Link stamina. The first Bright-Eyed crab gives Link 40% of stamina, then 60% for each one cooked after that. But of course, it's better to use a temporary stamina dish which replenishes Link's stamina to 100%. If you need a video for Endura Shrooms, Endura Carrots, or Tireless Frogs, I have a video for that too. Links in the description. For farming crabs, let's first talk about bright-eyed crabs. There's a specific route that I like to take to farm them that helps me farm other materials too. And first, I would go to Zora's Domain. The moment you get out of the shrine, there's 3 crabs and some Fleet Lotus seeds. Having stealth will also help. From here, turning on the crabs on your sensor would help because there are a few crabs on the towers and under the domain. Just follow the Sheikah slates beeping. Next, I travel to the Varura Divine Beast, then I drop directly east. There are more bright-eyed crabs here, and there are some frogs. I then travel back to the Divine Beast, and for whatever reason, you may hear some beeping in the east again. You could drop down and collect them if you want, but I usually wind bomb or jump to the north. There is a Hinox, and after defeating the Hinox, I jump southwest for more crabs and frogs. Next, I travel north of the Linearu wetlands, south of the Zelo Pond. Walking down this beach, you'll encounter a few crabs, maybe some Yiga, and there's a traveler that sells 99 bananas. This next place may have all 3 crabs and it's in the Linearu Bay. The small island in the middle with all the wind has a decent amount of crabs. There's also a group of crabs across the bay. I do have a route that I take when I farm lots of materials at once, and it is here in the Linearu Bay. Check the card in the corner or the link in the description for that route. Now, for farming Ironshell and Razorclaw crabs, I don't have an amazing way to farm them. They usually are close together, so what I would do is turn one of them on the Sheikah slate and go to Lurelin. First, I'll buy the 3 crabs that are at the shop. Then follow the Sheikah slate and make your way around the hook. You'll get a few crabs and you can come back again another time for more. The crabs can respawn at random locations. Let us know if you know a better way to get some crabs. Thank you so much for watching, a thumbs up if you liked it, and consider subscribing for more Zelda content. See you next time!